Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing The Two Popes. So The Two Popes is a new film from Netflix, and it is telling the story of Pope Benedict and Pope Francis and their relationship, and showing the transition of the church during a time when Pope Benedict is stepping down, kind of an almost unprecedented thing, and their relationship back and forth, and going behind the scenes of who they are and how their ideas mold what the church is. Obviously, both the actors involved, Jonathan Pryce and Anthony Hopkins, just did a fantastic job. They fully fall into the roles of their characters. They're real chameleons. At times you forget you're not watching these two religious icons having conversations. It's so impressive how they were able to capture the mannerisms and the looks and just the different languages. Everything about it feels so real and tangible. And that's really the hallmark of this movie, in my opinion. I didn't have a lot of opinions going into it. I didn't have a lot of interest going into it, honestly. I'm not, a deeply religious person. I don't know a lot about the Pope or the Vatican or anything like that, but having you see these things and having them feel so real, it doesn't feel like up in an ivory tower. You have the very intimate moments between these people and the recreations of some of these places, and actually filming on location of some of the places involved in the storyline made it feel just that much more real. In particular, they recreate the Sistine Chapel, because you're not allowed to film in the Vatican, you're not allowed to film in the Sistine Chapel, so they recreated a model, a full-scale replica of this very iconic place. So just they're able to take that much level of set design and production design to make this feel so real. They even filmed on location where Pope Francis came from in South America, some of the small villages that he came from, filming in some areas that may not be the best areas to film in, but it added that level of reality to the film that makes it just special. And one thing this movie does, it does highlight some of the hypocrisy and the corruption on the higher levels of the Catholic Church, and the kind of the backdoor dealings that deal with the bureaucracy of what is going on the highest levels. I know that a lot of this movie obviously is taking some liberties, is it's speculating on some things that go on behind closed doors, because we don't know the conversations that went on between these two men, but they're able to create something from some accounts, some historical materials, some speeches, so they stitch it together in a way that feels very real. It doesn't feel very fake. But seeing these two men have very candid conversations about what religion means to them, where the direction of the church should be going, what it means to be, religious, humanity, to be right to Christ, all these things, these big serious conversations, but done in a very informal way at times. It just adds a different element to the film. Also, seeing these two men go through the guilt of their past and having the flashback scenes showing their history, their upbringing, and them getting past some of the events to, create an idea of forgiveness and understand who they are as people and why they may not believe that they are meant to be in the positions that they're in, is something that really is interesting to me. The idea of guilt in the church and getting past some of these really bad things that some of these people have done, and getting past that, it's a difficult concept, because as we all know with the Catholic Church and things, a lot of really bad things happen, some stuff that's really unforgivable, and the concept of the church as an organization trying to correct those wrongs, trying to correct past wrongs, is something that is interesting to watch, interesting to see it play out in a dramatization like this. So at the end of the day, it may not be able to fully convey the scope of the situation. It does give you some interesting insight into maybe how things could or would play out. Also, the humanity of the characters and of the film is extremely well written. There's some really, really good dialogue. Like I said, there's some levity back and forth between Pope Francis and Pope Benedict, and just their conversations, particularly whether it's about food, it's about pizza, it's about football, it's about things that you don't think that a pope would talk about, and seeing them as a human being, seeing these characters kind of have the veil lifted off of them. They're not this high and mighty person that's up on a balcony in robes or anything. They're normal people with normal struggles, and seeing that is something that really makes the movie special as well, along with the reality, just seeing them as humans, seeing human interaction in this very arcane setting is something that's just entertaining to watch. So at the end of the day, I thought the movie was quite surprising. I didn't really expect anything from it. Their performances were absolutely incredible. These people, these actors literally fall into these roles as these men, and they're able to do it in such a convincing way, like I said, because of the production design, whether it's the dialogue, having it actually in the different languages, filmed in the different places, with very accurate, costuming and just everything about it. They took a lot of care to make this movie feel real and not just a silly concept. So overall, I think if I'm going to rate this movie, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really well done, really surprising. I think it's one of the movies that might fly under the radar. I know that I know that Jonathan Pryce was nominated at the Oscars, but just production design and everything around it, reading about it, is just really impressive. All right, guys, so let me know how you felt about the two popes. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Did you find it interesting, the different ways they were able to create this movie? And how do you feel about the story and the speculation, everything involving this film? Comment down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.